This is Santos Rolon Jr., Stockton, California. Enjoying a super fantastic, terrific, over the top evening. I wanted to take a few minutes. I was just doing some brainstorming and some positive self-talk. Yes, I said positive self-talk. And I was just thinking about business, internet business, and I was thinking about a few friends and a few people that I've had the privilege of meeting online, that some of them are not doing too well. So this is probably the most solemn talk that you're going to hear about MLM, and I'm going to do my best to keep this video short. You know, it's really difficult to see people come online and jump into a business and fail, and then go from business to business and fail and never really make anything. I've been there. In fact, I'm still failing my way into success. But I found a source. You know, business building, or even changing one's life, but I want to focus on building business. Yeah, maybe I want to also focus on changing your life too. Business building is not for the faint of heart. It really isn't. You know, I think most of us have been fed so many lies about network marketing and multi-level marketing and making money online, that we're, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm conditioned. I used to be conditioned. But, you know, the bottom line when it comes to building business, you have to really know what it is that you truly want, why you're building that business. Oftentimes, many people jump into businesses, they have a reason, but their reason is not really big. And sometimes, this may sound strange, that, you know, I think about this all the time, because my why and my reason for building business online is very deep inside. And sometimes maybe you're the same way. Maybe you can't express that, but we should be able to express it. You got to know what you want. You got to know what you want in life, period. It's hard to move forward in life if you don't know where you want to go. Or especially if you've been traumatized by circumstances and experiences and so forth, and maybe upbringing. And I do talk a lot about this kind of stuff in my other videos. But to be effective, to truly be effective in business on the internet, you got to know, you have to know what it is that you want. You got to have something, obviously, to get you to where it is that you want to go. You got to have a proper plan. There's a lot of mechanics that need to be in place, because if they're not in place, you fail. You fail. You go from failure to failure, and then you end up giving up. You end up giving up on your dream, and you end up making excuses. And you know what really hurts is that when you try something and you're not effective at it, or you don't have the proper plan, you don't have the proper sequence of steps, you end up sabotaging yourself, and then you end up becoming bitter or depressed. And some people just give up altogether. You can't be a person, you can't be a person that, you know, it's like, for many years, I struggled, man. I struggled with my mindset. I struggled with pride and with education. I had a lot of pride. I didn't have the proper education. And the education's always around you and me. It's always there. But I wasn't, you know, I have family members that were business people, but I myself, the problem that I had was up here in my mind, in my mindset. If you're failing in life, if you're failing in your business and you're struggling, maybe you're depressed, maybe you're bitter, you know, maybe you're going from business to business and you're just trying to figure this thing out. Well, one thing that you're doing is that you haven't quit yet completely. You're jumping from business to business. That's not a good idea, but nevertheless, you're not giving up on yourself. But you have to make a decision at some time. You have to realize, you have to look at what you're doing, and if what you're doing is not working, you got to make a change. You have to absolutely look at what you're doing, and you got to be willing to pay a price somewhere. You got to be willing to make changes. You got to be willing to lower your pride. It's not an easy thing. Building a business is not for the faint of heart. You got to be willing to break through. You got to be willing to be patient. You got to be willing to be taught. You got to be willing to repeat trainings over and over until it sinks in. And also you have to create belief, because most people that jump into businesses, they don't even believe in themselves. In fact, unless you truly believe in yourself, you're going to have a really hard time when it gets difficult, because that's where most people bail out. It's easy to jump into a business and get excited in the beginning and maybe get 2 or 3 people to buy from you, people that know you, because if somebody doesn't know you, they're not going to buy from you. They're not going to join your business. It's a lot of key principles that you have to learn in building business. Mindset, training. You know, what do you do with the people that you get into your business? How do you train them? How do you help them? It can become very, very frustrating and very confusing is what happens. And again, that's why people drop out. Or people that get into a business, that you've gotten into a business, they end up leaving you and going somewhere else. You got to be willing to be taught. You got to have a platform. You got to have a training. You got to have a coaching and mentoring program underneath you, so that you're building belief in your mind, so that you're building the belief in yourself to believe that you can, and that you're going to stick with it, because that's the secret really to building any business, to doing anything in life, to changing your mindset, to changing the way you behave, to changing the way you speak. You have to believe. You have to get to a place of strong belief. And my friend, if that doesn't happen, you know, you'll continue down the same path, doing the same things, you know, daydreaming, wishing that things might be different. And maybe some things might change. Obviously, change is inevitable, but progress is not. Progress is not inevitable. We have to create progress from change. And I've had to learn this the hard way, man. I've had to realize every day. I spoke earlier in this video about positive self-talk. I talk to myself all the time, and I remind myself, you know, you're going to find a way. Sometimes I begin doing, you know, I have a couple of businesses, and I'm beginning to see some success in those businesses, but primarily it's because I prepared my mindset first. You know, I've listened to many, many successful speakers, and I still do. I do a lot of rituals. I do a lot of rituals every single day to keep my mindset focused. And my mind is pretty strong when it comes to belief in myself. But every once in a while, I'll start a new project, or I'll start a new educational training or something, and it can get difficult. And I just have to remind myself, you know, sometimes you don't have the plan completely in front of you, but your dream, your reason for doing what you set out to do will keep you there until you find that plan, until you find the steps, until you find the right people that are going to help you take it to the next level. You know, I'm at 10 minutes here. I didn't really expect this video to go too long, but, you know, I think we have to be honest with people on the internet when it comes to business building. You know, I've got some excellent programs. But obviously, unless I put those programs in front of the right people, they're not going to help me. They're not going to help them. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's like opening up a Jack-in-the-Box for a McDonald's and putting that in the woods. Well, maybe the birds and the animals might get your food, but you're not going to make any money. You want to put a McDonald's or a Jack-in-the-Box on a street corner where there's a lot of traffic, where there's eyeballs, hungry eyeballs. You want to change your life, my friend. You want to change your mindset. You want to learn about your subconscious and how your subconscious operates and how you can retrain yourself for success if you're not having the success that you want to see or the changes that you want to make in your life. You got to learn. You got to be willing to lower your pride. You got to be willing to raise your standards, but lower the standards that you have right now that are not working for you. I'm going to end here. My information will be below this video. If this video makes sense to you and you want to connect with me, you want to chat with me via phone, I'm going to put my email address below in the description area. And I'm also going to put a link to the platform, the mentoring program, the business building tool suite that I'm involved with, that I'm darn proud of right now, that has taken me in the last couple of weeks to another level. And believe me, I'm not done. This is a lifelong learning process. If you want to make $1,000, $2,000, or $10,000 or $20,000 a month, you have to have a deliberate plan in place. It has to be purposeful. And your reason for being there has to be strong enough, because believe me, you're going to face some crappy times. You will face some crappy times, and people will turn on you. People will turn away from you. People will ridicule you. They'll mock you. They'll think that you're nothing. And, you know, you got to have a strong mindset to face all of that and more. But let me tell you, when that door opens for you, because you've done your homework, because you've stepped through and you've done exactly what you needed to do, step by step, patiently waiting. When that door opens, my friend, you're going to look back and you're going to say, man, it was well worth it. It was well worth it. This is Santos Rolon Jr. here in Stockton, California. Part-time network marketer, mindsetter. I enjoy training my mind every single day. And if you need help with your subconscious, you need help learning about behaviors and how to speak to yourself and affirmations and all of those other things that will actually help you become your best, connect with me. I mean, I've been able to do it to myself. Of course, I've had help, and I still have help. But I'm at the point where I know that I can help you. So, subscribe to my channel, please. Comment on my video. Give me a like. And I will see you on my very next video at the top. And remember to make every single day a super fantastic, terrific, over the top day, daily, in spite of. Peace.